Hello guys, I'm back. Today I just wanted to talk about depression and how it's very much a part of the awakening journey. It just is, sadly. I mean, it can't really be any other way. How can it? If you think about it, right? Because what truly is awakening, what is it all about for the real soul travelers, right? What is awakening all about? Think about it. I mean, yeah, there are people that awaken, like I said a little bit in my video Down the Rabbit Hole. I talked about that. But there are awakenings that I class as very shallow, because people basically peer down, go, yeah, okay, and just they carry on talking about Kundalini awakenings, chakras, yoga, meditation, and vibration. They love to talk about your vibration. Facebook is full of these fucking platitudes where it's all about, all you need to do is raise your vibration, like you should build a fucking scaffold really high up in the sky and put your vibration on it, and that's going to sort your life out, which is fucking bullshit. And it's a fucking platitude. And the people that come out with this crap are invariably always people that really haven't got a clue and haven't done any shadow work whatsoever and haven't got a fucking clue. And they're not awake and aware. But for true soul travelers who are really doing the work, depression is just one of those things. It's like, yeah, I'm really fucking depressed. And actually, I've been depressed my whole fucking life. Go figure, right? Why would I be depressed my whole life and I live in paradise and the world is so amazing? Wow, why am I depressed? What's wrong with me? That's just it, isn't it, people? That's what we're being told every day. We're being told that the world is beautiful and wonderful, and that if you haven't done well in life and you haven't achieved status or admiration from your fellow human beings, i.e. envy, that's really what they mean. If you haven't achieved a home and money and security, then there's something wrong with you. Then you're dysfunctional and there's something wrong with you. Well, here's the thing. When you're an empath and you're a soul traveler, and only soul travelers are empaths, I really do feel that, you come into this world and it's a massive shock to the system. You're highly sensitive. You can see straight away that everything is fucking wrong. You're probably lying there as a baby in your crib, wondering, thinking, what the fuck am I doing here? You know, thinking like, can I crawl back in the birth canal and get out of here? Whatever, you know, it's like a nightmare. I mean, even all the sounds in this realm are discordant and grating. Most of the music is discordant and grating. Because, well, we all know about the Hertz conspiracy, but, you know, certainly music is very grating, a lot of it is. There are all these weird sounds made by smartphones, towers, or even before, you know, in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. As a child, I always used to notice all the strange sounds, weird, high-pitched or low-pitched noises that have a thrilling sensation, like a microwave or something, you know. It's so these are obviously sonic weapons that are being used against us in some way or form, I reckon, but anyway, I digress, right? Depression is what awakening is what's caused by awakening. First of all, you probably have been depressed your whole life, but because you've been depressed your whole life, you don't realize that you've been depressed your whole life because it's all you've known. But you don't really realize, because it's been a subtle type of depression. It hasn't been overt, I want to kill myself now. It's just been, it's a feeling like perhaps having lived in a world where there is no colour, where everything is grey. You may have had the odd bursts of colour here and there, you know, moments where you felt less depressed, more hopeful, more creative, whatever, maybe listening to some particular music that you really love, or doing some creative work, or meeting a really lovely human being, or a beautiful animal, or some nature, and it makes you feel more alive. But deep down, your soul is fucking aching, and it will have ached from the minute you came into this realm. I'm convinced of that, for all soul travelers. You don't belong, your families are like complete and utter strangers to you, often hostile, malevolent strangers. You go to school, you know they're lying to you. You may not know that consciously, but something inside of you says this is fucking bullshit. You don't get on with the other kids in the classroom because they all toe the line, whilst you're out there sticking up like a sore thumb, you know. You know, you're told in school, so what do you want to do for a living then? When you're like 6 years old and you're thinking about, I don't know, completely different things about what to do to your Barbie dolls. I don't know, I used to melt them and I used to all kinds of things. I used to turn them into punk rockers, or I used to burn their little hands and their little heads, and you know, it would go all waxy and I would turn them into like weird looking creatures and whatnot. But anyway, that is what I was thinking about. I was not thinking about what I wanted to fucking do for a living. They prepare you for slavery. Schools are mind control factories. They're fucking evil. They're just like in Brave New World, where the betas and the gammas go into these big chambers and are mind controlled through different techniques into becoming the workforce. And that is exactly what they're doing to us here every day. This is why the poor people go to specific schools where they are programmed to be slaves, and the rich go to schools where they're taught how to debate and how to think critically. You see, this is a very different kettle of fish. It's like Harrow is a case in point, or Eton. Nevertheless, the fact that it's full of fucking inbred idiots, moronically stupid, like Prince William allegedly is incredibly dumb. You can tell, actually. He looks a bit, you know, suspect, but you notice all of this. There you are, you know, and you notice and you look around you every day and you just know that you don't fit and that you don't belong, but you don't know that you know that, right? So there's this constant unease and this constant longing. You want love. You want belonging, you want communion, but you don't have it, you don't get it, because what goes for love in this world is really just, but at best, a pale reflection of it. At most, it's just feeding, people feeding, narcissistic feeding that parades itself as love, but is not. So all the things you actually need, you consistently are forced to do without, right? You don't get any validation, you don't get any vindication, you don't get any protection, you don't get any safety. You learn through trauma, because you're traumatized all the time because you don't have any safety and bad shit happens. You're betrayed by the people that's supposed to love you. You don't function well because you're an emotional wreck and often a physical wreck, so you can't function, you can't get your shit together. So you end up doing shitty jobs, you end up in shitty relationships, you end up living in shitty homes, in shitty neighborhoods. All of that is very traumatic and disheartens you even more and reinforces certain epigenetic foibles, as it were, that you've inherited through the ancestral lines. We're often born in certain types of bloodlines, difficult, traumatized, religions, sexual abuse, all kinds. Don't ask me why, but this seems to happen a lot to soul travelers. We are born in very, very difficult scenarios, difficult families. So see, all of that, there you are, you're not functioning well, this, that and the other, bad relationships, and so forth and so on. So because of all that trauma having a massive effect on your nervous system, massive, and on your endocrine system and whatnot, this is what then becomes kind of PTSD. So what you start doing is you start running a risk assessment operation, hypervigilance, 24/7. You can't sleep properly because you're terrified all the time that something bad's going to happen to you, something bad's going to happen, something bad's going to happen. I'm convinced of it. Your mind starts doing this whole worst case scenario thing, you know, running that constantly, which is actually self-punishment, but it doesn't realize that it's punishing you. It's doing that because it's trying in its wonky, fucked up way to keep you safe. So basically what that means then is that you're perpetually being bludgeoned by these images. It's like in that film by Stanley Kubrick, what's it fucking called? Oh. Let me just check, people. Right. A Clockwork Orange. I mean, these films are... I mean, Stanley Kubrick knew what he was doing. Just about every single film he's ever done has been profoundly meaningful and has shown us what is what. Really. All you need to do is think critically. Watch his films if you can. Eyes wide shut. Pooh, wow. But there we go. Clockwork Orange. You know, eyes open. Again, eyes wide open. And being subjected to a plethora of images of horror. What do you think they do to you when you're watching television, right? Why do you think they say it's entertaining to watch people being murdered, to watch children being murdered, to watch the most horrific torture and God knows what else? On television, right? There's a series, American Horror Story. I mean, wow, shocking. A friend of mine was watching it, and when I was there, and I had to leave. I was like, I was there for 5 minutes. I was like, I can't. The whole room was filled with darkness. It was appalling. It was horrific. This is trauma-based mind control, people. This is what they do when they trauma-based mind control in the MKUltra program. They put very young children in a room, strap them in a chair, make sure that they can't shut their eyes and subject them to images from all around. I know this for a fact, of horrific torture and horrific nastiness. They do this. That is what we on a daily basis also are subjected to. And not just overtly, but also subliminally, right? This is a fact. So children are often shoved in front of a TV by their parents because their parents are so busy working all hours called cents, and their parents are so traumatized and emotionally bludgeoned and depressed themselves, or just NPCs or oblivious, and who think that watching TV and putting your kid in front of a TV instead of on your lap and giving it a cuddle is perfectly okay, right? It's fucking... So kids are, you know, in a mind control chamber 24/7, from school, from home, in the neighborhood, in the churches, in the mosques, whatever. And then one day, I mean, you end up taking lots of drugs. A lot of us have a history of drug taking, of alcohol use, because we can't fucking cope. This does not mean we're bad people, yet the system treats us like criminals. Oh, you're a heroin addict, you're a criminal, yes you are. It's fucking disgusting, right? Prisons, woohoo, great. I mean, this whole world is so fucking insane. So then you get to the point where, poof, like me. How long ago was that? 16 years ago, maybe? 17 years ago. Do you know, I don't even remember exactly. I was there, and I was sort of vaguely awake, a little bit, you know. Vaguely, but not really. And something went poof. And I was watching TV, and I was watching an ad, and all of a sudden, that TV just went far, far away from me. And my sofa went... It was like... And at the same time as doing that, it went closer. It's something I would never be able to put into words. And that same thing has happened to me since a few times. It's very strange. And it was like, oh my God, that ad. I knew they were fucking trying to mind control. I knew there was something, I can't even put it into words, but that was the beginning of my awakening. Wow. I started looking into just everything. At first I had no discernment, I had no idea what I was doing, so I was exposed to shit loads of information, but it was all part of the you know. And there's lots of other things that happened, lots and lots of other stuff that happened as well. Then I had a massive nervous breakdown. It was like the pressure cooker effect, I call this, where all the trauma in you all of a sudden goes kaboom, literally boom. I'd had an appendectomy. My appendix had gone completely gangrenous. I was in hospital for a week. I was telling everybody, it's my appendix, it's my appendix. I didn't want to fucking listen. I never saw the same doctor twice. Every day a different doctor, looking at my charts, mixing up the charts, nearly giving me the wrong medication and killing me. My God, it was an absolute fucking nightmare in a dirty, disgusting, evil hospital. It was the worst place ever. Just a place of death. After that, after the operation, I finally found out it was my appendix. I took it out. I went home with a shitload of painkillers, fucking antibiotics. Didn't realise at the time, you know. Took the antibiotics, took the painkillers, and had a massive nervous breakdown. 1 minute I'm okay, you know, on strong opiate painkillers, going hey, yeah. The next thing, my heart starts going kadoom, 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 kadoom. Massive tachycardia, massive. And cold fingers all the way up my spine and across my scalp. And the next thing I knew, the depression, that was so beyond depression. That wasn't even depression, that was something way, way beyond it. It was so nervous system, it was so fight or flight, it was acute, existential fucking terror. It was, there is only darkness and nothing else. I am all alone in darkness, surrounded by evil. It's all evil, it's all dark. And I will never be alright, I will never be safe, and there's no love, there's nothing. Because it was the quintessential, the essence of my experience here in this realm. That's what it was, totally there. And I refused to take antidepressants, but in the end I had to, because I couldn't eat and I couldn't sleep. I lost a shitload of weight. I was utterly exhausted. I was just like a zombie, complete, and just in this terror. Koom, 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 koom. Terrible, terrible. It was all the mind control, you see. It was all the trauma. It was all the PTSD. It was boom, all at once. Oof. Right? So I did end up on antidepressants. Started to get a bit better, gained a shitload of weight, started developing health problems, because when you repress all this energetic shit stuck here in your shadow, it will come out another way, hence you start getting sick, physically sick, you know. So then I came off antidepressants again, and I realised something told me you need to go within yourself. Do to yourself what the counsellors did. Apply that, do that, and I did that, and I've been doing that ever since. And 4 years and 4 months ago was when I really began that work in earnest, really going within. And I've been quite severely depressed every day since then. At first the depression was okay, manageable, but it's gotten worse and worse and worse, because my awakening has gone deeper, 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 to the point where I can really see this world now for what it is. So this depression is completely natural in light of that. To see what this world is, how we live. Everything forever dying. Everything is dying around us. Our bodies are dying. Children are born dying. Figure that one out, babe. You know, your first set of teeth, and you have to go to the dentist because you need to have fillings in your first set of teeth. You know, you have colds, you have the mumps, you have the measles, you have rubella, you have this, you have that. You need to have your vaccinations. It's nature, everything's forever dying. Being born and dying, being born and dying, being born and dying. Mulch, 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 mulch. Mind control, mind control, mind control. Your parents are mind controlled and traumatized. Your parents are suffering from PTSD. It's all in the mix. Dad, animals by the roadsides, everywhere, roads, everywhere. Asphalt dissects this world, this Mother Earth, like prison bars. Big juggernaut cars hurtling to and fro every day, you know, spouling out their bloody filth, you know, saying, oh, but it's okay because it's unleaded. You go out for a walk and oh, unbearable, it's unbearable. Even in nature now, you smell, you know the air is dirty. Chemtrails everywhere. Television. Zzz. music. This place is insane and it's horrific. This is why we are depressed. We used to know this, all these things subconsciously. Now, after a very long journey, after layer after layer after layer through the inner planes, we also know it. We know it. We just know it completely. We know it. It's no longer there. It's here. And so we are desperately unhappy. Well, unhappy isn't even a word for it. It's so beyond that. We're in so much pain. It's unbearable. And that is why a lot of the soul travelers are in so much pain and so much grief and so much hatred and so much rage. Everything that we are feeling is completely and totally relevant, people. It is. And right now, a lot of us are literally thinking, I cannot stand it anymore. You feel totally threatened because you know that no matter what you do, no matter what supplements you take, no matter how good your diet, your body is still dying. Your health is still no good. There is no such thing as good health in this realm. There just isn't. Anyone who's truly awake will understand that and know that. No matter what you do, everybody says, oh, we have to fix it up, patch it up, go to the doctor, go to the dentist, take this, take that, do exercise. And regardless of what we do, the body is still disintegrating. We are still dying. We still need money because the powers that be have taken all the resources and are making us work for money, so that we then give that money back to them just to get the bare necessities. Well, some people obviously make a lot more money than others, but you get my drift. For a lot of soul travelers, we're not functioning very highly. We're not architects and doctors. We're not high functioning because this world is such, and we're empaths. We're not going to be highly functioning. Our consciousness is highly functioning because true high functioning is seeing it all for what it fucking is. That is true high functioning. High functioning is not being successful and having all the trimmings of a good life but not having a fucking clue what's actually going on. That is not actually high functioning at all. But, we're bludgeoned here every day. And it's now getting to a point where we just we really can't seem to do it anymore. And we don't know where this is going. Where is this going? And then at the same time as all of that, and after all these awakening layers, nuances, wow, seeing it more, oh my god, what is, oh my god. There is still that, the true self, the essence, that presence, that sense, that says, keep trusting, keep having faith, for you are a powerful creator being. But when you are working through all the trauma and the PTSD and the shadow and the dark generator, that is so loud that this voice is so small. And there are times where you can't hear it, and there are times where literally it just is. We wish this would be, because hey, when this is fully here, you feel so much better, don't you? You feel like, oh, thank you. You get the visions, the insight, and this deep sense of, yes, it's all going to be all right. But at the moment, we're not feeling that. No. It is so tough going at the moment, people, with this Pluto-Saturn conjunction business. And it is the depression, the gut-wrenching, awful, horrific, heavy, doom-laden depression that a lot of us are feeling right now. I mean, it makes it virtually impossible to go about your life, as indeed we all have to, which in and of itself is just fucking disgusting, Yet another dentist appointment, yet another, we have to go back to work, we have to eat, we have to earn the money we need to survive. we're forced to carry on doing this horror fucking story, you know, we're forced to carry on living it every day. So yes, we are feeling it severely, we are feeling it intensely, we are feeling it overwhelmingly, and we are asking, when is there going to be a breakthrough? And the only thing that I have gleaned in the last 2 weeks is love yourself anyway. Whatever you do, if you can, when you can, tune into that I choose to align myself with the power and the magic of infinite love and creativity. And I love myself, even though I am not in good health, even though I am in so much pain emotionally, physically, that I just can't bear it anymore. I'm just, the grief I feel is like ripping me apart. Even though you're terrified, how will you survive? How will you get the money will you end up homeless? What are you going to do to you? Oh my god, the next trauma. Oh, I shouldn't think that way because the law of attraction says that it will create my reality. Oh, I mustn't have these negative thoughts. Oh my god, oh my god. All of that distortion shit going on as well. Oh boy. Wow. It's the hardest thing we are doing here, people, without a doubt. Remember how courageous we are. Remember that. Keep loving yourselves. Keep loving yourselves. Keep tuning in to love. It is the only thing that can sort this out. I truly, honestly believe that with all my being. I am clinging on to it for dear life at this moment in time. I truly am. If you have to keep repeating, I love myself, do whatever it is you need to do, but cling on to that. There are times where you can't even do that. I know, it gets that dark, all the lights go out. I know that, I'm aware of that. You will somehow get through that. Remember, you are not alone. We are all here, soul travelers. The powers that be don't like us fraternizing. They don't like us getting together, by the way. So let's commune with each other as much as we can. Let's support each other as much as we can. We can get together on Facebook. We can support each other's YouTube channels. You know, like I always talk about Onion Child, because I love that channel, because I love Derek and Alexa. They are soul travelers and they're good people, and the videos that they do, mostly Derek, because Alexa's going through a really tough time, poor baby, but it's real and it's raw and it's like, this is how I feel and that's it. And it doesn't fuck about, and yet it's pure. You know, you feel, yes. So yes, another good channel is Fractions, Fractions, Fractions. Nathan, you know, in New Zealand, again, talking about his experiences, sharing in that lovely, subtle way that he has. Fellow soul travelers, we need to support each other one way or another and do that. We need to love ourselves. Keep tuning into love. Love. I am the power of love. You are the power of love. Keep tuning into that, people. Do it in your own way. I have my own way of doing that. I can't tell you how to do it because I am me, I'm not you. But I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. Do not let this darkness bludgeon you into submission, into giving up. But stand your ground and stand in the light. Make that choice in every moment. Make it, right? It's very important. It will see you through. It is the ultimate antidote, I feel. I know it feels really feeble. I know this here is going, oh, love doesn't mean anything, doesn't do anything, it's fucking weak, evil's won, look at the world, everything is fucked, you're fucked. Evil hasn't won, but it's sure as shit putting up a massive fight, and it's really rampaging. I know that much, yes. everything feels very fucking dark. Very dark. But we all are children of the light. You know it, because you know that you're a beautiful and very good person full of empathy and compassion. I know that about myself, and I know that for some of you, right? For my subscribers. So, if evil had won, it would have utterly ripped us apart by now. It would have destroyed us. We wouldn't even exist at all anymore. So, it's not the case. There is still goodness left. But this is, I believe this is what the Bible refers to, I suppose, as Armageddon. This is the war of all wars, people. And now is our time to stand in the light. So let's do that as best we can. All my love to you.